Coinbase CEO has come out under fire from the SEC and Gensler for possibly offering staking products to retail. And he comes out and says staking products aren't securities. This brings up a great topic. Just want to help bring light to our Wise Beyond Bitcoin audience. There are different kinds of staking. And this brings up a great point, because what he's saying may or may not be true, but remember that Coinbase is an intermediary, and what they're offering of staking versus the kind of staking that's going on within crypto may not be the two things. So if the SEC were to come out and say, you companies that are offering staking services are offering securities, that may not be also an attack on all of the actual individuals participating in these networks that are directly staking to the network in order to provide security. So let's kind of explain, let's kind of explain what is staking, what is Coinbase doing, first of all, when they offer a staking product to somebody? What is that essentially?
Well, it's they're taking custody of customers' funds and promising to share some fraction or of the yield that comes from the committing those funds to a staking contract, which is usually, I think, done on chain. So they're not doing anything funny. They're just staking, for you essentially, and taking a little bit of the return for
Not
it.
only that,
And that, go ahead.
I was say the inflation rate is determined by these networks, right? So if they offer staking for Polkadot, or if they offer staking for Cardano or Solana or Cosmos Atom, because we know we talk about Kepler, we have we actually have how-to videos on how to stake on a proof of stake network and choose a validator. So in essence, I guess what they're really doing, unless they're giving people the option to choose their own validator, they are automatically providing the validation service, or choosing that validation service and linking people up directly. Right?
They're running their own validator, I guess, right?
Probably running their own validator so that they can generate the rewards and then offer. What they're saying is that because this is a function of the network that's automatically given back for validating, we're not promising profits, giving any profits, providing any type of work, like a security to put them at risk. It's literally just a function of the network. And I think on that level, he's got a great point. I mean, and again, that's why I think it's not disingenuous, but it's important for people to understand how this new technology works, because blockchain went from being nothing to pay attention to now, how are we going to call it, a security, or who's allowed to use it, or what kind of blockchain can be used. And the reality is that staking is necessary to secure transactions, to allow for a blockchain to even function and to exist on a proof of stake network. It takes, just like Bitcoin has miners that are proof of work mining in order to keep the network secure, it takes locking up a portion on a proof of stake network in order to keep that from being hacked, or to keep it secure. So when you stake and you lock up a portion of a network, the inflation rate, the way it works, it says, okay, if you're going to lock up a portion, then as this network grows, it will pay out 3%, 4%, 8%, 10%, 15%, whatever the percent of inflation is. It will be evenly distributed amongst all the stakers. And those people that validate never actually take the money from the delegators. It's all done on code. In other words, if you give your money to Coinbase and they send it to a validator, technically speaking, you never gave your money to Coinbase, and they didn't. If it goes right, if it's being staked on chain, it's being something that the contract, if something happens, the validator gets shut down, then the funds go right back to the original wallet. So you're not giving up custody to an intermediary. The risks are a lot.
It's on chain.
It's on chain. So in that sense, it's like Well, I mean, you can understand that if you want to help support the growth of the crypto market in a healthy way, then you would want Coinbases, you would want the Geminis, you would want the Krakens to be able to allow $1 million or 10 million or a billion, whatever number of funds, resources are invested in Polkadot or Solana. You would like to be able to take that to be staked in securing the network, not just sitting in an empty wallet where it can't be staked and securing the network. Most people who participate in blockchain do so to participate and add value. How insane, hilarious, crazy, ironic would it be if you have intermediaries who say, okay, we're going to come in and we're going to be a part of this blockchain and help it grow, and they come into proof of stake networks, which are built upon people having a crypto and then locking it up to help add value, and to say, okay, well, we're going to allow people to acquire this network, but we're not going to allow people to stake to secure it without some kind of penalty. It's funny because these networks are strengthened and have more value added to them by giving people the ability to lock it up for a period of time that they don't plan to use it for transacting on the network. So you would think that.
Well, it's also not, I don't know if profit or yield really is accurate, because yield is a term that refers to a percentage increase, usually in dollar terms, right? If you're talking about yield, financial yield of an asset, but in this case, you're just getting more tokens, and there's every reason to think those future tokens are going to be at a lower exchange rate, considering the supply keeps growing.
Ceteris paribus, they would be.
Ceteris paribus. And so you're not really expecting a traditional yield. If anything, you're blessed to break even and not suffer like some kind of a loss in the total position. So yeah, I mean, that needs to be part of it too.
You're not, even though people all hope to be early on something that's adding value, to say that you would like to profit. Sure, people would like to make profitable decisions in life and to support something that's going to grow and not be useless. But to your point, you're taking something of value and time and you're locking it up. You're giving up access to it in order for that network to function. So and you're getting back to inflation.
Yeah, and you're getting, that inflation is part of that supply of that thing is inherent.
Yeah, so you know that what you're going to get back is going to be worth less than what you put in. The only way it will be worth more is if there are more people find the value of this technology and decide to make use of it and build on it. And they would need people like yourself and to lock it up to make that network big enough so that more people can adopt it. So it's kind of like you need staking to be in somewhat incentivized. Well, I mean, it already is, but don't take away the natural incentives of staking, because that's what allows these networks to function, right? If you want to protect retail and you want to protect against hacks, then you'd want to say, okay, Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, you guys have access to large purses of Solana, Cardano, these others. We want to make sure that y'all can be a part of securing these networks, not make it to where you can hold all these proof of stake tokens and not be allowed to use it to benefit the community and to benefit, the security of the network. So, okay. But now let's talk about, there's staking that supports the network, right? So we talk about Mapazones, IBC, or other proof of stake networks where they need you based upon the code of the inflation rate to lock something up in order. There's that staking. There's also staking in applications like in DeFi protocols or other applications where for an exchange or for some other protocol to function or exist, you choose to lock something up for a period of time and allow services to be used, functions to be used with what you locked up. And then you do would get back some type of return based upon the function of those exchanges that took place, like fees, for example, on an
Yeah, for like
exchange.
an LP provision or something.
If you donate, but then again, you're taking something up and you're giving something up in real time, and for letting it being borrowed or being used, and for making use of that, being given a small fee for that usage, and it's all being done on chain. That's a different kind of staking, a DeFi staking, which has nothing to do with the security of the network. And there are risks that people take knowingly in that type of staking. Unlike when you stake with Cardano, you don't think for 1 second there's a risk of impermanent loss or anything. But
Right.
and then there's another type of staking, which we'll do videos that go into details of this, but it probably in many ways some of the most innovative. But when you look at staking in products that are built on applications like Hex or Wise Token, products that are built to say the inflation is paid out specifically to this proof of weight mechanism. In other words, staking is not necessary for the security of the network, right? Like in Cardano, these others, you need to stake in order to secure the network. Well, with these applications that are built to a code, their decentralization is fixed and their security is immutable by code. There is no way to 51% hack Hex or Wise Token because they're secured by the blockchain Ethereum, or if you were to put it on another chain, name the chain. But they're an application that can bounce from chain to chain because they're a DApp, a decentralized app, which is a lot of the value of what people talk about blockchain in the first place, is that you can build dApps, decentralized applications. So staking by a smart contract, I guess a smart contract staking on an app can carry different risks or no risk or limited risk versus staking for a proof of stake network versus staking in a DeFi. So when someone comes along and says staking is illegal or staking is bad or staking is, a security, it's like that shows a lack of understanding. What are you even talking about? Because there are different kinds of staking in this technology, and it's important to know what those are if you're going to come out with rules to protect people or regulations to prevent bad things, from happening.
Yeah, make the distinctions are important.
So as far as the CEO of Coinbase and staking products aren't securities, where do you personally, I tend to agree with him, even though he runs a company that is an intermediary that offers services to people. So I could see maybe coming out with some kind of like a box of information pop up. Before you stake, you must understand that there are risks of slashing validators and you're not guaranteed to get anything back.
Yeah.
Like I could see that, but I mean, I would tend to lean on his side that because of how blockchain technology works, staking products aren't securities from what I understand. That's where I would say. But
I'm kind of on the fence. I could really see. I don't really have a firm understanding of securities. So my hunch is that what he's saying makes sense, but I feel like the way these things are read by lawyers are so nuanced and detailed, and I'm not really privy to what the considerations are. So it could be that while these different kinds of staking are all unique and serve different purposes, and while some may seem more risky than others, it could be the case that a blanket reading of the Howey test just grabs it all, And I don't really feel like I have a good enough argument either way to say yes or no on that. So I kind of feel like it's just it's kind of arbitrary. It's like, we'll see what the powers that be rule, but I don't know if there's a natural law, argument here, because we're dealing with the application of a standard that's itself political and based in a legal understanding, precedent, and that stuff's malleable.
Right. Well, there you go. I mean, I would be on the fence if I understood more if they're offering these products to Bitcoin or Dash or proof of work, if you're offering staking services that repay people in blockchains that don't require staking for their
Yeah.
security, then I would say that makes sense as being a security.
Clearly, that's
But
clearly a security. Yeah.
but if you are helping facilitate a proof of stake mechanism to add security to the network, and you're literally just taking people who already have a wallet on chain and allowing them to participate directly in that feature on chain, then I would say that's not a security. That's disingenuous at reading into the Howey test of giving your money over to another entity in hopes that they're going to work for you and
Yeah,
make profit.
'cause
That's
you're not doing that.
you're not doing that. And to say that that's what you are doing is almost to have a blinder to neglect the whole value of blockchain security, how it's able to achieve these finalities and these understandings by code without intermediaries, and then to try to somehow read into the definition that no, you're still depending upon an intermediary. It's like, well, we're kind of not. That's kind of what blockchain and Bitcoin is able to achieve. It's able to achieve consensus without needing that clearinghouse, without needing that third party. Hope you enjoyed that clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscription, notification bell if you want to get the latest drops. Of course, all of this is educational, entertainment information to help you in your journey, learning more about blockchain and how to participate. None of this is financial advice, investment advice. However, if you'd like to learn more about blockchain and crypto, we've got plenty of videos and playlists as well that walk you through DeFi tutorials, how to get involved. And if you'd like some more one-on-one help, check out our website, wisebeyondbitcoin.com. We've got plenty of free resources for you to scroll through and check out in your journey, your blockchain crypto journey. Of course, you can also drop us a line. Let us know what you'd like to learn about. Time is money. Knowledge is power. Benefit from our experience. Let us know what you'd like to learn more about. We'd be happy to help you. Until the next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste, y'all.